Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Dope Dealer TV Radio. I'm your host, Cleo Kardashian.
And I'm Lena Creative.
And we're your personal plug into all things creative, current, and dope, delivered right to your digital door. Welcome back. We missed you. We got a little to talk about. It's the same old stuff, same old drama. But again, we're going through revelations. Everything's coming to light. Everything that they're talking about been going on. Everything's just being revealed. So what we're about to dive into is the idea of black men, emphasis on black, and black does mean it's a status more so than a race. But we're going to talk in terms of it as a race. So the men just not competing as they should, and they're not really prepared for the world. And it's a little sad, but the women, we're nurturers. So when it comes to making sure that we're good or anything's good, we just step up and do what we got to do. But we shouldn't have to because everyone else is, doing what they want to do, especially culturally. You know what I mean? The women don't have to beg the men to be men. It's just too much. Everything's not lining up. So, Ed, you want to take it away? I feel like I got them in.
All right, so what we're going to be addressing today is a story for our current section, going over what Ebony K. Williams and Iyanla and their conversation on her show, on Ebony's show. Iyanla confronts her and asks her a specific question about the types of men that she's willing to date, and she answers, and the internet has a whole lot of controversy regarding that, and so we're going to go over what was said, and we're going to say what we felt about it, and then we're going to see a response from a very prolific figure in the digital space, see what she has to say about it as well. So let's go.
All right, and mind you, diving in, people are going to ask, well, it's not a race thing. The reason it's a race thing is because in the black community, a lot of women have to take the place of the man because a lot of, other hoopla. I don't want to get too much into it. You can already figure it in your head, especially if you're American, you already know what I'm talking about. You need to play games. So just go into this video with that mindset. Nothing forced, but the idea is just this one particular race because of, said past experiences and traumas.
That she has with Iyanla Vanzant. Then I'm going to come back and talk about this.
I know that you said that you cannot teach a man or tell a man how to be a man, so I will not ask you to indict men in this question. But I do want you to speak, Iyanla, to how women need to, position ourselves so that we can be in our divinity, so we can have our crowns right, how we can create and not build, when some of us, quite frankly, feel that the men that are available to us, and I'm talking about across the color spectrum, across the age spectrum, trust me, I've done them all, they are not positioned to protect nor provide because of some of the statistics we just talked about. They're not earning the incomes, they're not having the resources, and some of them are not even showing up in the leadership.
Would you date a bus driver?
Would you date if he owns the bus? If he owns it. If he owns the bus,
that's a problem. That's a problem.
Look at her lip.
Because
look at her lip.
Yeah, because
very snooty.
Why would she randomly that's the first thing that she says. Instead of having a real conversation, she's telling her immediately that it's her fault in a way. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, your standards are too high. It's like, why would you go all the way down to a bus driver? A bus driver and this woman wouldn't even be able to mesh because they come from two different worlds. If you were to ask her what she does, you know what I mean? Maybe you would know that, but she didn't ask no questions. She just came out, oh, would you date a bus driver?
Yeah. And then things are thrown off too because people don't, they hold on to certain things too long. Imagine in a perfect world that being a bus driver is like a 20-year-old job and, people eventually move up and move on to things. That's not the world we live in. But we're just asking, that people compete. That's all it is. And yeah, you have to match up to what she is. It wouldn't make sense, would it? People would look at it strange. Not that that's what matters.
It would be unfair because more than likely she's going to be looking, but there's a reason why people try hard in life and do things so that they can have more out of life. So that means that she's going to have a certain standards of where she wants to go in life, the type of house she wants to have, what kind of car she wants to drive, how she wants to do her hair, how she wants to take care of herself. And if she's dating a bus driver, that means she's going to have to be handling majority of those things plus the household. Because if he's a bus driver making $50,000, that means that he's not going to be able to handle majority of what is that needs to be done.
Right.
You know what I mean? She would be intelligent not to go for a bus driver, being and still what she wants out of life.
Right. Exactly, because if they're in a big house, the water bill needs to be paid for watering the lawn, for the lawn being manicured. We didn't even get in the house yet, cleaning the outside of the house. You know what I mean? Maintenance out there.
All that paying the electricity, paying the actual mortgage itself, paying for the vehicle, Because you're gonna have more than one vehicle. You're gonna each have a vehicle probably.
Yeah.
Who's gonna be paying the notes? Who's gonna be paying the insurance?
Yeah.
Who's gonna be paying the maintenance? All of those things.
Let's just we're gonna cut to the chase. When you got a daughter, if you're a man, and we gave you the option of choosing of her building, obviously men are gonna say, I want my daughter to be provided for or have her own, not having to take care of anybody. You understand? So that kind of cuts it all up. But they know this, but they're not going by it. You know what I mean?
No, because low key they want to be taken care of, and it's like, okay, if you want a woman, then you want a man. If you want to be taken, that means you want a man too. You looking for a man too.
Yeah.
That's why they be trying to villainize us and make us, oh my God, I was listening to a Neo song, Miss Independent.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that nigga.
Yeah, and that's how he's living.
God.
That's how he's living. And then, no, but you gotta understand, I can't say too much on here. I can't say too much on here. We're gonna have to go to the website for that when it goes up. So, yeah, let me just get off of this. It's making my stomach nauseous. Doesn't your stomach feel nauseous, Ange? Let's just play the rest of it.
No, it's very irritating the way she presented that. It's like, okay, you are obviously in a realm where you would date forever.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, look at this woman and look at yourself. Look at your age. Look at this woman's age. Look at what she does for a living and what you do for a living.
This is
First of all,
Rihanna
ain't gonna date no bus driver right now. He would have, and you know what it is too. When you're at that age, you're probably back to wanting cute guys and not give a, you know what I mean? You got money already. You're old. You know what I mean? You're probably back to wanting the cuteness and not caring about the money because you already been there, did that, got money already, and now you're back to wanting someone hot and young.
Right.
So now, if you're hot and young and the bus driver, you're gonna go for that, Iana, because that's where you're at in life. This woman is trying to build herself to where she wants to be. She probably hasn't even had any kids yet. Why would she go for a bus driver? I think about that. She's like, what the hell? This is not the 1950s. And first of all, a bus driver maybe could have took care of a household in that time there, but not now.
Yeah. And my aunt had said to me, and hi, Aunt Monica, I know you gonna see this. So she was telling me, she was like, forget about these men, just do it on your own. And I understand why she said it, because it is a headache, and they don't make enough to really get you, off your feet. And it's and they're okay with it, just as long as they had a good life. So
I think mostly it's because majority of the quote unquote black men that there are not looking to take care of a woman. They're all looking for help. They're looking for a woman that they can split stuff with. You know what I'm saying? So it's not the same kind of situation where it's like, okay, I can grow a family with this person because I can be off of my feet and they take care of everything, and I can take care of my responsibilities and they take care of this. You always got to worry about if they're gonna do what they're supposed to do, which is so unfair.
Right, yo, and let me remember that we're not on the phone, but I know exactly what that is, because I always felt like I had to be prepared, and I never went in thinking of getting kids when I wasn't raised that way. I was raised to, clean up after the boys, clean the table, they could do whatever they want, you know what I mean? But you mind yourself. So it did play a lot into it. So you prepare yourself to be a workhorse and become a drudge. And then you look in the mirror.
Yeah, I was never raised to be a workhorse, but I'm being serious. Everybody was raised differently. I'm just being honest. Like, I wasn't raised to serve boys, but it was put in my mind, oh, I'm gonna have to go to cook and clean, and that was cool with me as long as this nigga do what he needs to do also, and I don't have to worry about his side. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't mind doing cleaning and cooking, but you do all the money making, bring it home so that I can pay for things and I can buy food in the house, and I can, if I want to get my hair done, I can, and get my nails done, I can, and I don't have to worry about all of that stuff. And just like when you come home, you don't have to worry about what you're going to eat and if the place is going to be clean. Why can't it be? It's never like that. It's always completely uneven.
And then you got to think of, what do these men do with their free time? And what do they have enough time to do? And from what I've seen growing up, just from my neighborhood, and what they be showing on TV, because they want to keep perpetuating that. It's like when they have free time, it's like with another girl or trying to sneak around, something stupid, you know what I mean, and low-minded.
It's because it's a lack of mindset of where they're trying to go. You know what I mean? They're not really trying to go anywhere. They're really trying to stay in their teenagehood as long as possible. So that's why they just continue to act like a kid forever, as long as it's possible, as long as they can. You know what I'm saying? So it's like with their free time, they don't think about creating anything or growing their skill set or anything like that. Their free time is like to play.
Yeah,
they just want to play.
Right. So no one's
And
spending time
meanwhile,
getting
women are trying to always trying to hustle, always trying to figure out, oh, what can I do? What can I grow? What can I?
Oh yeah,
how can I?
especially when women are judged because a woman can't go. There's women that do, but women couldn't slum around like that. You're gonna get judged, and people care what people think, especially because you know it can affect your reputation. You know what I'm saying? So imagine a woman slumming around and doing whatever she wanted. They're gonna be like she's a bum, and they're gonna talk about it all the time. Even a bum nigga, they're gonna be outside talking about her. But the bum nigga will never talk about another bum nigga unless he has to compete with that bum nigga and he got beef with him. You understand?
Yeah, all of a sudden, their homeboy is the bum as soon as when people are comparing. Now you want to talk about how he's not doing what he's supposed to do, but meanwhile you was being complicit and you didn't give a shit at that time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think the reason why women get it the worst is because we expect it to be a certain type of way. We're supposed to be much more responsible. But why should we be more responsible than a man who's supposed to be providing and protecting?
Right.
Why?
And that that's why it's not healthy to raise your daughters to be slave-like. You know what I mean? Because I literally was picking up these boys' underwear. They would disrespect me, and she would just laugh. You know, so a lot. And I seen that other girls going through it because when I would talk about it, older women would just tell me, you know, because I would go to them for help. They'd be like, "No, she's just old school." So I grew up thinking that. And old school, especially in Spanish culture, you're gonna see it. I see women that be like 60 or 80 and they breaking their back cleaning their son's underwear. I've seen it. You know what I'm saying? And the boy be mad disrespectful not doing anything, or the man, I should say.
Yeah, and I feel like women have a certain responsibility in it too. You see this woman, Iyanla, she's an enabler because now she's trying to acquire this woman right here that's completely out of the realm of a bus driver. For her to feel bad enough to go and think about even dating a person that is not going to be able to provide her with what she wants out of life.
Right, but Iyanla was born in a certain time where women were, supposed to just sit down and shut up and do it.
But even the woman that was dating a bus driver, the woman that was dating a bus driver back in that day, she was just a regular high school dropout. She wasn't no accomplished woman.
Yeah.
There was no such thing. So for you to be trying to tell her to bow herself, you know what I mean? It's like,
listen, Iyanla knows deep down that woman wouldn't date a bus driver. She knows that.
She said, and she didn't even say she wouldn't date a bus driver, but she said that he would have to own his own bus system or his own business.
I would never ask to go in that.
And that's fair enough. It's like, okay, this is an entrepreneur. He's going somewhere with himself. He's not just simply working a job that is dead end. He's actually working towards something. That is showing the mindset of the woman. She's not a selfish person. She's not like saying, oh, I don't respect him because he drives a bus. She's saying, I don't really want to be with him because I don't see where he's planning on going. And that's basically
so you really care for me if you show me you can secure us. Like when you come to me as a man and you're like, what do you need? You just on it. That shows you care. But people
not only that, it shows that you are prepared for husbandry.
Right.
You're actually pulling that kind of cut from that cloth. If you can't handle simple problems and fix certain issues easily, then you're showing that you're not cut from that kind of cloth. You're more of a little boy and you can't operate in that capacity.
Right.
You know?
But don't bring it up, they'll get tight.
Me as a woman, I'm solving problems all day long. And you can't solve a single problem, and you always putting it on me to fix. That's what means. You think I'm your mommy, and you ain't got it in you to do what you need to do. I shouldn't have to say it more than one time what needs to be done. You should be handling it.
Because let me tell you something. Because if I asked you if you wanted something sucked, what would you do? Hop right up. So you know what I'm saying? Yeah, and that's another thing that what did you call it? Weaponizing incompetence. It's real shit. I'm like, I never knew there was a word for it. I thought people.
Maybe it's just straight up incompetence. You know what I mean? Some people are just completely incompetent and just don't know how. So, you know what I mean? Instead of like saying, okay, let me go learn how to do this, they would decide to just go into their little boy show. You know what I mean? So it's like, I just feel like, you know what I mean? There's enough excuses at this point. Women have a lot into it as well because the amount of things that people have accepted up until now. You know what I mean? Making excuses for them.
These people are playing games and it's just too much. Let me cut to the chase. I've seen it my whole life. I've seen the foolery. I've seen men play around. Nothing's getting done. The women have to because we're thinking of the children. You know what I mean? It's an unfortunate place to be, but I guess once we all get our heads together and see that, stop doing that because you're babying them and they're okay with it. That's the sad part. And men aren't checking men at all. Because they kind of are, some of them, the ones that are not disgusted by it, are jealous. Yeah.
They want to be mommied.
Right.
So they're just like jealous of him. So only people that are really like the men that are like independent and actually want to raise their family and be the man in their family and not be the one that's looked down upon. Because like it or not, if you're a little boy in your household and your girl has to be your mommy and tell you what to do, tell you to pick up your pants and can I have the bill money, please, after 1,000 times, and all of that, like have to nag you because you're not doing what you have to do. You're not looked upon as the head of the household. You're looked upon as another kid.
Yeah.
Like another child.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if you're not trying to be that, most men that are actually cut from that cloth, they disgusted by that kind of thing. They don't want to be seen that way. They want to be seen as the one that can fix the problems, handle things, and be like their dad.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But these guys, you know what I mean? Either they don't have no daddy or they just don't have the concepts. Because even if you don't have a dad, right, you still have the concept of like the problem solver, the person
That's
that
what
can
I'm
handle
talking about with the playing dumb. Because if it came down to it, if you think about it, men that take advantage, if they found their dream girl, what do they do? They con better. If you know how to con,
that's what she said. Yeah.
If you know how to con, you know what you're doing and you're smart. You just are scared of the world, so you hide behind women, or you're just not prepared. These men aren't prepared. They could be prepared if someone put a gun in your head and made you.
Because you know what it is, they start fucking too soon before they even know what it is that they're fucking for. You get what I'm saying? Like they start fucking before they even know what is what. So
they're in a hood where chicks will do it in the stairway.
Yeah, their whole MO is just to get their penis wet, and it's not about growing a family until that kid pops out. Now then they start.
And they'll risk your family for it too, even if you have kids.
Yeah. Either they grow up at that point and decide that they're gonna start figuring out this whole fatherhood thing, or they just stay in their babyhood and try to find a mommy.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, bro, it's really, really sad. It's really sad, and I just I don't know. Women, I feel like women have a responsibility into just cutting them off. Honestly, I just feel like they all need to be cut off until we can get the wheat from the chaff and find the real people that know how to operate as fathers and heads of households and leave everyone else behind, because who has time for this?
And we shouldn't have to do that. That's so. Do you know how primitive that is when you gotta say to another human being, "I gotta cut off access to my body so that you do right." You know how primitive and advantage that is.
It goes without saying. It's like
that's mad
you
primitive.
just won't have access to me. It's just like you see how this woman right here, a bus driver just doesn't have access to her because he's just not on her level. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like you present yourself in a certain type of way. You cannot do certain things. You're not cut from that cloth, so therefore you can't fuck with me. You know what I'm saying?
Guys know that. And they know that.
Nothing wrong with that. There's plenty of people that have low self-esteem and that are going to be fine with it, you know what I mean? And hopefully there won't be plenty of people, because the women will raise their standards. Women will raise their standards and raise what they're capable of, because we have to be capable of handling our responsibilities also in order to be a good match for the kind of man that we want.
Right.
As well. So I think women are trying to do that. But the fact that there's no match for us is causing an issue. You understand? There's no one, like, okay, so like if I step up my femininity, right, and I become soft and I become nurturing and clean and I cook and all of that, who's going to make sure these bills are paid? Who is going to make sure that if my tire breaks, I have someone to call and they can come and fix it and know how to fix it? Who's gonna make sure that that the rent is like, I don't even need to know where the bills go or any of that stuff. That don't need to be on my brain, because I got enough to think about. I got enough organization.
Right, but what did you tell me before, Ange? What did you say to me before? It's not me, so I don't care. These people really be feeling like that, like, as long as it ain't me. Because it's like they don't, I really sat down and thought about it, when you got the kids. You got the kids, you got the bills and everything, and some people think, well, I help out with what I can. But when you leave the woman in a household, or if you come into a woman's household, you just becoming a burden. And the Bible has said it's worse than an infidel. You understand? And I thought about it, and it kind of is. When you come in there with all that muscle and stuff, and all you got to offer is dick and bubble gum, and you asking her for bubble gum because you ran out. You understand? Mm-hmm. Yeah. No good. No good.
It's insanity.
It is. But it's okay.
I feel like it's going to take some time, and it's going to take some real selectivity.
It is. And the night, when they got a hold of hip hop, it really just
step up.
Yeah.
I know a few men that is like happily married. They taking care of their families and all of that. Their wives one day go do their role, and the man they do their role, and they understand their place. And that's what it really is going to take. You know what I'm saying? But it's like,
yeah. Other than that,
Nothing wrong with a bus driver. Again, there's nothing wrong with a bus driver, but a bus driver that has ambition. That is what she's basically saying. Okay,
right.
maybe you're a bus driver, but at this point, you own your. It's like being a truck driver. Do you own your own authority?
Right. When I was little, I thought that's how the world works.
Runs under someone else's authority and has run under someone else's authority for the last 20 years. You lack ambition.
Right. Because when I was small, I thought that's how the world worked. I thought you get a job and you graduate or, move higher up in that position or whatever it was that you chose. But when I became an adult, I started really seeing what it was. I'm like, okay, it's what you make it. Everything's what you make it. There's no excuse.
I think nowadays men are trying to compare themselves directly to women. I think that's what it is. It's like, okay, yeah. Oh, I don't have my own business, but do you have your own business? It's like, bro, I'm not the provider and protector. I'm supposed to be nurturing. I'm supposed to be like, you know what I'm saying? It's like everything is reversed. Why do I have the business and you don't? Yeah. Why are you telling me how to be a mommy and you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing? You shouldn't even know nothing about being a mommy. You shouldn't know nothing about
without money.
It's a nice thing for you to know how to do these things, but you shouldn't have to be thinking about that. Just like I shouldn't have to be thinking about how to, you know what I mean? Oh my God. I feel like I'm repeating myself.
It's you just gotta watch out because you get left stranded. You have to fend for yourself. They're like, well, I don't know how to help you, and I don't have it. You know what I mean? And then sometimes when you with a man that don't have too much, you gotta make sure he's not like a cat. You know what I mean? Willing to take from you, but when you put your hand over his plate, he's like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, there's no sharing. It's no sharing. It's just taking because that's a mommy situation. Yeah, that's why she's a mommy, because your mommy, she don't need nothing from you. She will give you.
Exactly.
All you have to do is give mommy a hug and kiss. That's it.
I'll be trying to figure out how there's girls, they be having 2 jobs, and they got to cook and clean, and then you have to think about it. Not everybody has.
If I'm all alone. I'm only doing that if I'm all alone and I'm single. I'm gonna do everything that I need to do. But you know what I mean? If I have a man, it's just like my daddy, if I call him and I got a man, he tells me don't call him. Because why do I have a man if I'm calling, like, what am I calling you for if I have a man? Like, he should be able to handle it. And that's a litmus test right there. If I have to call somebody else, that's a problem.
Yeah. Yep. Or you're the bank. It's no good. It's moving backwards, and then you turn and look at your children. You're like, God damn, what are we doing here? What's going on? Because the children are looking like, why are they in the big house? What's going on here? You know what I mean? And you've never been taught to put that into consideration because we're always taught to clean up after the boys, be quiet, don't be too fast, but the boys could do what they want. It's always a man's world, and they play around, and they keep playing until they're 60. You hear niggas like Stevie J, like, where's your weave at? Like, what? Don't you, like, these are the people that are walking around, and girls are falling for them for stupid reasons.
Yeah, because all they need to do is, because Stevie J just makes sure he's hot all the time. He just makes sure he's hot. That's what he do.
Yeah.
And he old. So he's still playing that same game, but you see, if you look at his love life, you'll see the true story, though.
Yeah, that's how it always goes. You want to know a man's real life? Ask the girlfriends if she's honest.
Take a look. Take a look at how many baby mothers he has. I wish somebody would have told me don't deal with no baby father. Somebody who has a baby already. Bad news. Because what happened?
It's either drama or jealousy, or you're paying for the baby and you're helping fund the baby mother too, or the other way around. If they don't, if it's not balanced, it's drama or the person's crazy.
You might not be doing, you might not be doing all of that, but you're definitely going to be a free babysitter.
Yeah, that's if you allow it. Because I've seen that too. They bring their kid and then they try to walk out the door. It's like, yo, what are you doing? What are you doing? I stay home with my kids. Why can you even? Don't do that. Don't do that. And that will go in the other room, and then it's like, did you ask? You didn't ask. You know what I'm saying? You don't
this
like.
Is what men don't like to be a baby, like a stepdaddy type of situation. A lot of them don't.
They know you have kids in the house. If there's kids in the house, what's in the house? Food. It's gonna be clean. Taking care of things. I'm just gonna slide in.
Extremely. That's what I'm trying to say. That makes you an extra child. You're just trying to be an extra kid in the house. That's crazy.
But they be okay with it. They're not embarrassed.
Yeah, because they don't even see it as an embarrassing thing. Like, until it gets brought to their attention that, okay, I'm really like trying to be a teenager for the rest of my life. Like, I don't really have much going on. All I have is like these girls that I go to their house and eat their kids' food. That when it dawns on them, then maybe that might be a bit.
And they need to be embarrassed. Like, all right, imagine being one of these average dudes, right? you walk in the room to your girlfriend's house, she's having a meeting, there's men of means there, and you walk in and you going in there taking out what is it, gummies, and they look at it like, wait, those are fruits. Right. I mean, if you care, you change, right? But at the end of the day, I think it's just that they don't care.
I think the orientation,
because you know how to con and you know how to shape shift.
Are you coming in to bring food, or are you coming in to eat the food?
Right, to eat the food.
I don't know. I feel like it's all very bummy and it's completely outside of what I'm into.
But they're okay with it because nobody's shaming them, and they're hiding. That's why they be hiding. They don't want to be seen with you. You know what I mean? Or if they are, they got to be known as a player, because I can't just be known for being with her. She aight, but you know, she makes sure I'm fed and I get sleeps and my clothes clean. So you know, can't really be seen with her. I don't want nobody telling. I can't. It'd be crazy. Yeah. I've tried talking to guys, and then the girlfriend calls. She's like, he has a household here. There's children. I'm like, for real? And then she'll try to tell me something like, oh, I gotta go. You know, and I feel bad. I'm like, that's messed up. But you know, I'm the type, I would feed into that. I don't do the yelling and the drama. You know, if you're not ready to eat at the table, just go back over there. That's it. I'm not gonna yell with you. But yeah, cut them off.
It's all very ratchet, darling. That's why that's why I'm taking my time. And I'm choosing very, very wisely. I'm not bringing nobody around my child until I know that this guy's cut from a cloth. You know, what do you think about gender roles?
It should just go without saying. You know what I mean? Because the con game has to stop. Why are you conning women? There's a whole world going out there. There's people competing, coming up with new things, new ideas. And we have a lot of people like that, but there's too many other people playing games. And people will be like, well, you know, it's not their fault, their daddy. Yeah, but at some point, you know right from wrong. If I ask you to go in front of an officer and pull your pants down, you're not going to do it because you know that's wrong. You're not fucking retarded. It's just that you don't want to do it. And if somebody threatened you or your way of life or whatever, you would do it. You understand? So it's just something we should have to talk about. It's a waste of time. You're supposed to be talking about real estate. And I feel like when I say that people need to be talking about business and world matters and world affairs, I'm not talking about the men and women. The women that want to be involved, they can be involved. But it'd be nice if the men just took charge and did what they had to do, and women could just be worrying about the children.
Yeah, but you know what is the problem? I think there needs to be a balance, and I feel like the reason why men try to step away from it, or even a debate as to whether men should be handling all of the politics and everything like that, is because their perspective is not fully formed, and it's not fully informed by emotional intelligence and all of that, and that comes from them not taking our advice. So it'd be good if we handle it, but also take our advice and listen to what we have to say about things, and actually add that into their calculations, because they're very good, very logical, very good at figuring things out when they're actually cut from that kind of cloth where they're able to do that. Right?
And they care to.
Input, with the input of a wise counsel, which is your wife, right? Mm-hmm. You can do anything because your wife is able to see such nuance that a man can't see. Man can see dot to dot and like very ABC. Women can see like nuance of it all.
Right.
So if you ask what your wife has to say about it, then you have a well-rounded and well-balanced view and a well-rounded approach to things. But the point is that they completely cut us out. You know what I mean? When you cut out the woman from that kind of decision making, or you're not involving the woman's perspective, then everything kind of is too imbalanced. It's too, brute force, you know what I mean? And that's where all this war and bullshit came from, and that's why we end up starting thinking, oh, we need to handle it. But I don't think it's that we need to handle it. I think that these guys need to just be allow us to have input, you know what I mean?
They know you have intuition, they know you have emotional intelligence. It's just how they play it, you know what I mean? They're so busy having fun and doing what they want, it's not working out. And
I don't think all men are the same.
No, it's not all men. That goes without saying.
I really do think some men are cut from a certain cloth and other men are undeveloped.
Right, but we're talking about it because it's a problem. You know what I mean? Other communities, they have it, but it's a handful of people, or, you know, it's not really crossing the big.
I think that in like, for instance, if we're talking about white and black, right? In white society, those men that are not cut from a certain cloth and can't raise families, they usually get abandoned and left alone. They don't get wives and still like, oh, okay, let me push him along, and you know what I mean? Majority of the time, they don't end up with families. Black men, whether they got whether they cut from the cloth or whatever, they can somehow still find a way to get somebody knocked up. A white woman is gonna abort that shit.
There you go.
Black women are more likely to keep. I believe we like. I don't care what these
we weren't raised, but we weren't raised like
aborting their shit. They're aborting them babies. That's what Elon Musk has been on about. They're aborting those babies if they're not ready for the. If they first of all, if they didn't want to have the kid, or if it's from someone they want to have a kid for, they're aborting those babies. And black women are more likely to keep our children.
Right.
So that's what these men are hoping on. And so whether they're cut from a cloth to actually be a father or not, they're going and making children with the hopes that the woman will either keep it and not involve them, or, you know what I mean, you know, maybe they'll get rid of it and then they won't have to think about it. But more than likely, that's not what's going to happen. You know what I mean? They're going to end up with their seed will be out there in the world, and then they will have what they wanted.
Right.
That's very embarrassing. That's very embarrassing, and I think black women just need to put their foot down and just be like, listen, you know what I mean? We're going to examine you thoroughly if you're cut from the cloth to actually be a father and a husband, because we're going nowhere fast with this. You understand? We're stuck in the same spot.
Right.
We meet you 5 years ago, and 5 years later we'll be in the same exact spot because you don't know what to do or where to go or how to move.
And this goes for the older people, because y'all gotta teach your daughters and stuff. Y'all be so offended of your daughters and young girls. Oh, she's too fast and this and that. And then you letting the boy run amok, and he runs amok his whole life. It's too damn much, and it's getting annoying. You ain't nobody's slave, and you know what I mean? You're not no workforce. You understand? Even men don't have to be. We live in a technological age. You don't have to. But it's what you
No, exactly. And you know, you see that's it too. These men are looking at making money as a whole lot of work, where it don't even need to be that, because there's so much technology and there's so many different ways to make money that you don't have to be breaking your back to make it.
Right.
That's low level. That's a low level thought process, and that's keep coming back to the same thing. It's like not everybody is built for what is necessary. You understand? And we just need to be better at choosing. We need to be better at choosing and more selective and more open up our options as well. Because, you know, if we keep concentrating only on black men, we're gonna be stuck, because they have a default. A lot of them have a default of I'm gonna stay a kid for as long as possible.
Right. But I'm a king.
Child king of the playground.
People that be saying it, and I'll be hearing certain people I know that the dirtbags saying it. I'm like, you're not.
King of the playground.
You don't even have a car. Yeah, the playground be full of people. The women, you know, what you call it. It's just too much playing. Then shit like freak naked stuff, and then it's just too imbalanced. Everything's too imbalanced. Growing up, I felt everything.
I feel like we just need to stop settling for it. We just need to stop settling for it. I learned my lesson already. I don't need to learn no more lesson. I already know what I'm looking for. And I'm not going to be settling for no little child that I have to take care of. No.
Yeah.
Somebody to help and take care of me so that I could take care of us.
Right. And they know you're good at it.
Yeah, man, I'm so resourceful and organized, and I'm incredibly intelligent, and I know exactly how to make money too. So any man who is cut from the right kind of cloth is gonna be very well off working with me, because I know how to multiply. You understand? But I'm not gonna waste any of my energy on a child. You're not developed psychologically, mentally, emotionally. I'm not dealing with you, because it's a waste of my time. There's so many people out there, so many males out there that are prepared for what is necessary, what needs to be done, and what's. You know, where they trying to go. Some people don't have no plan. They ain't trying to go nowhere. They trying to stay exactly where they're at, and that's not my type of cup of tea, mate.
Not good for the kids.
Some leaps and bounds.
Yeah.
And more children. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? You can't be
It's scary because it's like if there was an emergency, you got another person to be scared for. You know what I mean? Like, and then some people don't realize
listen, if anything and you feel that way, that's a problem.
Right, exactly.
That's a serious problem. That's a serious problem. A woman, we're not built to be taking care of a grown ass. And first of all, if something happens, you can't pick him up.
Right.
You
literally can't lift him.
Putting you on his shoulder, and the kids on his other shoulder, and running the fuck out of there. It can't go the other way around. And that's how you know what's good.
You ain't nobody's slave, and you know what I mean? You're not in a workforce. You understand? Even men don't have to be. We live in a technological age. You don't have to. But it's what you want.
Exactly. And you see that's it too. These men are looking at making money as a whole lot of work, where it don't even need to be that, because there's so much technology and there's so many different ways to make money. You have to be breaking your back to make it.
Right.
That's low level. That's a low level thought process, and that's keep coming back to the same thing. It's like not everybody is built for what is necessary. You understand? And we just need to be better at choosing. We need to be better at choosing and more selective, and more open up our options as well. Because if we keep concentrating only on black men, we're gonna be stuck, because they have a default. A lot of them have a default of. I think it's this way. I think we just need to change our plans. You know what I mean? Let's listen to ASHERA.
Get out of poverty cycle within 1 to 2 generations. But some people keep trying to drag you back there. Like, why are you trying to drag us back to
That's misery needs
to where we escaped from? Come on.
Because she don't have no ambition. She's already given up. You know what I mean? She just she ain't trying to find nothing.
Like, excuse me, I escaped poverty, but you're trying to put me back there? No thanks. Go ahead, you date him. Set your daughter up with him. With them bus drivers. Okay. I don't think even a bus driver want to date a bus driver. Okay. Get out of poverty cycle within 1 to 2 generations. But some people keep trying to drag you back there. Like, why are you trying to drag us back to the driver? Okay. Ask the bus driver. Ask the female bus driver. What's your ideal man? She ain't gonna say no bus driver. Okay, I'm serious. A bus driver don't even want to date a bus driver. Remember, ladies, stay dust free. Stay dust free and don't let them bring you back here. Okay, this is how a bus driver probably lives. Okay, because on $51,000 a year, this is probably all you can afford. Okay, so she want Ebony to be living like this with her dusty bus driver. This how they want Ebony living, okay? And what I'm trying to say is, why? And Dusties are in the comments all over these videos talking about what's wrong with mediocrity? What's wrong with being a bus driver? Because it's Dusty, that's what's wrong with it.
Black's ambition.
Okay. If it was your lifelong dream to drive a bus, then great, I'm happy for you. Do what you want. But I know part of that lifelong dream does not include dating a high-profile lawyer. Okay. With low expectations. Where y'all gonna live?
Look at it. Look at the picture.
Listen, how many people's homes have you seen look like that? Always, almost.
Think about this. Some people, a man can have an apartment that look like this and have 20 kids, right? But a woman could never.
Yeah. Well, it happens. They do.
Yeah.
They do, but it's this vibration. Low vibration. Simple as that.
It's just one chair in a video game. There's no drawers, there's no coat, there's no shoe rack. You know what I mean? There's no toys.
Yeah.
None of that. Look at it.
It's not my type of shit.
Yeah, it's not. And it's not to shit on anyone. It's just you're supposed to move forward in this world. You can't just sit around and play. You might as well not, play the game at all. Like, why do you even have a piece? Hand it over to somebody else. Seriously.
Just need to shift our focus away from this.
Yeah, and lifestyle music video. Yeah, like those who know. It's just about it. And then don't be stingy and not tell people. Because when I was like in my teens, I would ask people like, "What's going on?" Like I would try to ask older women when I see,
They didn't know, and people that know can't help but tell you. People that know, like ASHERA, she spends her whole every day like stay away from the dusty, stay away from the dusty.
Yeah,
that's because she knows better, and the people that don't know any better, they don't have anything to tell you. That's the problem. You were with the people that don't.
They just look like they
They
did.
don't know that. It probably just appeared that they did, and you didn't know that they have no clue.
Oh, because when I asked, they would
Like
just
they would
change,
be taken care of.
yeah, they would just change the subject when I asked, as if they didn't want to talk about it. It's like there was just this thing in the air of, I don't want you to have it too. That as well as what you said.
Yeah, I feel like they don't know. People that know better and that maybe they don't give a shit about you. That could be it too.
Yeah, that's true. Why should I tell you who you? I'm for me, fully. Move forward a little bit.
Yourself and
She discussed it. She actually discussed it.
confused as to what a date is. You date someone, it has nothing to do with your children. All you got to do is make sure that it's about you dating that person, getting to know them getting to know you, seeing if they're a provider, and by the time that y'all come to do,
You see how it cut? You see just that little bit she said? You see how much that cuts out? That cuts out years for some people. Some people it takes years. Years to figure out what they were supposed to figure out within looking in the man's eyes. But there's something else.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
You know how many dates you could go on and you telling them about your kids and showing them your kids, and meanwhile you're sitting across from a goddamn pedophile.
Right.
These niggas know you have kids until you know what kind of person it is you're dealing with.
Yeah. Well, they want to get comfortable with the kid and grow up with the kid so when the kid is right.
Right.
Did you see it a few times where a kid gets a certain age and all of a sudden you're dating? You know what I'm saying? And it's sad
Like,
because you don't feel.
Woody Allen.
Yeah, you don't feel, and I don't feel bad for the kid. I mean, I feel bad for the kid. You get what I'm saying? I didn't mean to say that.
Yeah.
I feel bad for the kid because you really don't know. Like they really sunk their teeth in you since you were small.
Woody Allen did that. You know about him? You know about him, Clee?
Huh?
Woody Allen.
Oh yeah. And I was picturing her in my head. Poor little girl. Can you imagine that whole time?
If she
And
don't
when
think
she
of herself as a
realized
little girl.
If she
She
ever
don't think of herself as a poor little girl. She thinks it's normal.
see, but that's what I'm saying. If ever she realizes it, she's gonna be like, "Oh my God, I'm gonna throw up."
She's grown.
That's what I'm
And
saying.
she has kids of her own, and her daughter is like, oh, I remember she was on Instagram defending Woody Allen, the father,
She has to because she's really defending herself.
defending her own existence.
Yeah, because the girl knows. They know when they with someone they shouldn't be. It's embarrassing. You realize it at some point, but if you don't realize it, you complain about him. You feel like he should be doing right. But that especially happens to girls that ain't have fathers or their mother ain't teaching them. I know their mother was jealous of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They
Well,
don't
when your mom
understand.
is jealous of you, you find out things late.
Yeah, exactly. Very late. And that goes with what I was saying about asking other women, because I had some women roll their eyes at me like, why are you asking? You know what I mean? The attitude as opposed to, well, I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know what is that? When you're young, they think you're too young to even be able to take their advice. I think that's what it is. Because I remember being young and asking, or actually trying to relate to a woman.
Yeah, but if you roll your eyes at someone, or would you try to explain it best you can for the time they're in? That's how you and I move.
Yeah,
I couldn't imagine just rolling my
That's the
eyes at
thing.
some girl and walking away. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then his mom's like that. It's gross and it's a waste of time. And then the girls find out late. You find out late. And this isn't shade to the kids. We appreciate y'all, but you find out late. And that's a part of, when you're in a war or you're just playing a game of life, that's like going back to jail. The game of Monopoly teaches you all of this. On all levels, no matter what you're talking about. You don't want to be a small guy. It's a waste of your time, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
decision that you want to take it to the next step. If he likes you enough and you think he's worthy of knowing about your kids, then you can tell him, But y'all seem to think y'all have to lead with all this information, which you really don't. So if you have been told by all these people that you don't have a chance because of this, and that, that's literally up to you as a person, because there are so many women with kids out here that look good and still be getting rich men, okay? In fact, y'all should be better at the game than women with no kids because y'all have mouths to feed.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You literally have mouths to feed. So you should be better at the game. You should be better at getting this money. All right.
See, and that's why you don't have to sit in your bathroom and watch videos like these. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I watch them just so I know because nobody was telling me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I really was just thinking, you know, and it was stupid. It was a waste of time. Not the kids.
Yeah.
No, the kids, and that goes without saying. But it's like, wow. And then you really had to.
Because when you're young, you think things are so straightforward. You don't think you're gonna, you know, somebody could really try to play you, or that you wouldn't be able to get what you want out of it. Because that's why men say that we think it's a fairy tale, but it's like that's how everything is described to us, as if that's simple. You find a guy that you like, have kids, y'all get married, I live happily ever after.
Right. And that's why before I left the house, this guy, he was like, watch your stuff. I never thought it would mean your boyfriend. You know what I mean? That's the person that's going to be cleaning you out, not people that you think are your friends and stuff. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Just catches you by surprise. And you're like, wow. And you keep learning until you get it. And people are, you know, not what they're supposed to be.
Well, I don't know. I've always been naturally like not trusting certain things. You know what I mean? I've been very cautious. And I think that the first moment that I decided not to be so cautious, is not be so careful all the time, that's where I made my mistakes. So, you know what I mean? I just gotta be myself, you know what I mean? And be very selective, as I always have been.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Oh, you heard it? That was in the back. Yeah, part of being selective is part of being smart. And it's just something we have to do automatically. It's nothing you should have to learn. To have to learn it is that already tells you what kind of life you had, and you know the way you move.
It is what it is. I mean, it's good to learn whatever you need to learn. You know what I mean? It's pointless to you know, not learn things because you should have known it already. You know, it's just whatever you course that you should have known. Just take it in, add it to the repertoire, and get going.
Mm-hmm.
The way you go, you know.
Right. TikTok. Okay, so we're moving over to her TikTok popularity. I learned about this woman through my sister because she was going through the same problems until she decided to divest and go somewhere else. And she started, you know, seeing that she didn't have to pay for things. Like, it's not seen that way. But when she was staying within her community, it was, you know, I need this, I need that, scamming her, you know, just a whole bunch of mess. Everyone else does it too, but it's more higher. And, you know, okay, so should I just hit it?
Quote from my book, I Bring Nothing to the Table. Question. Why do men make me feel inadequate and incompetent when I don't have a job? And what can I say to them? Well, here's my answer. Tell them you don't need a job. You need a man that makes enough money for the both of you. How about that? Then they feel incompetent and inadequate all of a sudden. I'm going to be reading a quote from my book.
Simple to the point. No arguing, no getting upset.
That's all right.
That's if he gets upset and you feed into it, but you don't have to. But this is just like something already, you know.
Remember one time I was.
And it's gonna be something.
Remember one time I was in bed. My dad.
You might have to grow onto because it's a new concept. But then when you get around everyone else, you see they're not drudging around like you. You know what I mean? And you see both parents together. It's not just you all the time. It's a lot of times it's just me, and they already assume that. And when I meet races of people that aren't black, they always, the first thing they ask me are the fathers the same? And you know, all these disrespectful questions, like it's okay. Yeah. Even my old woman, the first thing she said, you know who the father is? You know, what's going on here? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That's all they want to know. You know who the dads are? How many you got? Oh, you by yourself? You know what I mean? A lot of people see this a target. Depending on.
I feel like Shera rise to fame on TikTok is like prolific. She's literally everywhere. I don't know if you've seen it. She's literally everywhere on TikTok, and everybody's quoting her quote, sprinkle sprinkle.
I think it's on like.
Yeah, people are taking on like her teachings. Like she's like a whole cult leader on TikTok right now. That's why she was like, right. People are finding her from TikTok and finding her her YouTube, and that's why she was saying I'm on YouTube and Instagram, and she doesn't have a TikTok and she doesn't plan on starting a TikTok. I think the only reason why she's not on TikTok is because it's money.
Yeah, and it's younger.
TikTok is for driving traffic to, you know, areas where you can make some money. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. I feel like she's taking over TikTok, and it's a great thing because she's spreading the message of avoiding the dust.
Right, from the jump, or at some point, how to get out of it.
Yeah, and just to immediately get out of it once you realize you're in it. You know what I mean? It's like it's a waste of your time. Don't do it. of men that are capable of actually raising a family and actually being a provider. You don't have to waste your time. You don't have to.
And you have to be careful too, because a lot of people don't want to talk about it, but a lot of women are being offed by their mate because the mate can't meet the standards, or he's, you know, in his baby state and he doesn't want to grow up. So they don't see nothing wrong with offing the woman and the children. And that's been happening a lot. It's too much responsibility for them. They don't want the drama. They can't run around and play like they want to. And they blame
walk away. Go away then. I said go away.
Right,
then.
and that's what these videos have been about. Right, that's what these videos have been about, going somewhere else. So yeah, that men, now they're going to other countries. They're like, here in America, it's just too much. No one's saying hey, you're right. You see what I'm talking about? Because this is what I keep saying. If I acknowledge another man is doing wrong, I can't play around too. There's things I want to do. I want to be a creep. I can't sit out here and point fingers because I'm trying to hide. You understand? Mm-hmm. So instead of doing
not only that, they're afraid of each other. You know what I mean? The people that are actually see something wrong with it, they're too scared to say stuff to the other ones because
they beat you to the punch with that one too, Ange, because they came out with the word simp. They kept pointing at Sierra and her husband, calling him a simp. I didn't see them. I've never even heard the man talk. So I'm like, what are they talking about? They're like, yeah, he caring too much for her and being too nice. I said, wait, see, this is what, listen. But the thing is, they know how stupid they sound. What they're saying to you is we can't play around and be little boys if we got to be responsible. So we're just going to go to other countries. And before this even hit the internet, I've been knew about this because I've seen it with my own eyes. Fathers of families and stuff, they go down to Dominican Republic and they smashing, you know, people underage and just smashing whatever because they can, and the women don't have any money, they're lighter skin, you know, all the reasons and, you know, and stereotypes that we have, you know, they get to live out their fantasies down there. Then they come up here with the problems, you know, and they got going through it in DR too. They got a lot of these kids that belong to Black American men that they don't want to claim, or they walk away from, or the men still live down there and they just ignore the woman and she got to get her family to try to get money out of him. It's becoming a problem. Wow. Yeah, and other women in other countries are saying stuff. They're like, yo, we thought we would have... Listen, they coming over here and doing the same thing, and then the men in their countries, they're not having it at all. They're like, what are you doing? Do that shit in America. Like, how dare you? First of all, Black man, why are you even over here pulling that? You know what I mean? We don't even want to touch women. And then
I think one of the
money.
Girls got attacked. So what he was doing, he started getting attacked for it.
Who, what's that guy?
I don't know. Who is a passport? Some passport.
There's a lot of them. Oh yeah, they don't let some of them leave the country. You in here smashing and getting people pregnant and having a good time. You know. And then the worst part is you on social media telling people to come over here and do it. Yeah. You're not leaving. You're gonna find out whose baby's who. That's not cool. And then you're gonna go back to your 1-bedroom apartment with your video game in your chair. If you have that. Most likely you do.
Yep. And complain about women.
Right. Like, you really gotta think about it. He got 20 kids but lives in a 1-bedroom. The mother could never do that. Could never. But if it was a guy just himself and a baby, we feel bad. He's trying. How come I'm not trying? How come I'm lazy? I'm tired. I just had a baby. Or I gotta get up and go to, I'm tired. And you keep telling me be nice to this man no matter how mean and disrespectful and no money he gives. Respect them. That's their father. What are you talking about? It's tiring. And you start to realize how stupid they sound. They sound mad dumb. And it happens to a lot of chicks. Stop talking bad about it. But shut up. Get a job. Shut up and put up. Like you did with your legs. So yeah, that men, now they're going to other countries. They're like, here in America, it's just too much. No one's saying hey, you're right. You see what I'm talking about? Because this is what I keep saying. If I acknowledge another man is doing wrong, I can't play around too. There's things I want to do. I want to be a creep. I can't sit out here and point fingers because I'm trying to hide. You understand? Mm-hmm. So instead of doing
not only that, they're afraid of each other. You know what I mean? The people that are actually see something wrong with it, they're too scared to say stuff to the other ones because
they beat you to the punch with that one too, Ange, because they came out with the word simp. They kept pointing at Sierra and her husband, calling him a simp. I didn't see them. I've never even heard the man talk. So I'm like, what are they talking about? They're like, yeah, he caring too much for her and being too nice. I said, wait, see, this is what, listen. But the thing is,
let the dust settle, let the dust bunnies run around in the dust if they feel like they want to.
Yeah, they'll mess with each other because you see it happen in jail. They can't just stay alone. So it's already been happening. They do.
Yeah.
You know, and that's it. No arguing, no getting loud about it, no getting crazy. Just know better and move on.
Yeah, identifying the problem and staying away from the problem, and that's it.
Yeah.
That's how I am. I'm
it's
not
not
going to
being
be engaging with stuff that's not going to get me where I need to go. So,
right. And it's not that she thinks she's better than you, because some of y'all will really sit there and really say she thinks she's better. No, it's not that. I'm just doing what I'm supposed to do. You don't know that you're supposed to be doing it too. So you think that I am better because I am.
Because I am better. Yeah, I am better.
And you got to think about these kids, because he's going to want to smash, and he knows it's going to make kids.
If you're not trying to elevate and I am, then what are you saying? I am better than you. Because I'm doing it not.
Right, I'm miserable.
And you expect me to take care of you like I'm your mom.
Right.
That's why I'm better than you.
And when you complain about it, I'm going to turn it back on you, because you're not supposed to say anything. Who told you to take off those bifocals? You're supposed to just take it. I thought you were soft. Aren't you soft? Let me do what I want. Yeah, I know. That's a snack. I want it now. I'm hungry. How come you don't cook?
Anyway.
I'm tired.
I'm done complaining about these guys, because the reason why we complain is because we're focusing on the dust, and no more focus on dust.
Yeah, because it'll bring more.
Yeah.
And then people be like, what happens is when you get around people of means and people of affluence and you're talking that way, they're gonna be like, ugh, get away from her. I'm serious. I've seen it happen. I've seen girls stand in circles and they're complaining about the kid's father, like to CEOs. I'm like, what the hell is happening here? And then they'd be like, well, let's go over here.
Yeah, because it's not your life. It's hard to relate. It's like,
You're so behind in life. Like, are you serious? My wife would never even let me. I wouldn't even do that to my wife. Are you serious? Oh, well, come over here. You're probably good at sucking cock anyway. So just come over here. And then that's what it becomes, because they see you as dumb. You don't know what's going on, and you'll probably do anything for $1. So come on over here. Do this and do that and blah, blah, blah. You know, I'm a skis-ball anyway deep down, and you're not going to say anything.
That's why you don't tell people your problems.
Exactly. And you don't have to know your children.
They don't care. Most people don't care.
Right.
People are not
You
able
get
to
them
help you.
ammo. That's all it is. Ammo. Here. So you know. So that's it. Just be careful. I'm gonna get swept in it.
Yeah. So you know what's really creative?
What?
I see. It's what's his name there? Timberland. Timberland used AI to do a clone of Biggie Smalls.
Oh my goodness. Ah, it's coming up. Look. What's this? Timberland. Oh, that's Timberland? He looks so different. Wow.
Taking steroids.
Wow.
Taking steroids, taking testosterone and stuff. Rich people shit.
Yeah. Very bulbous. Okay. Timberland reviews Dream Collab. I do want to see it a little bit.
Let the dust settle. Let the dust bunnies run around in the dust if they feel like they want to.
Yeah, they'll mess with each other, because you see it happen in jail. They can't just stay alone. So it's already been happening. They do.
Yeah.
You know, and that's it. No arguing, no getting loud about it, no getting crazy. Just know better and move on.
Yeah, identifying the problem and staying away from the problem, and that's it.
Yeah.
That's how I am. I'm
It's
not going to be engaging with stuff that's not going to get me where I need to go. So.
Right. And it's not that she thinks she's better than you, because some of y'all will really sit there and really say she thinks she's better. No, it's not that. I'm just doing what I'm supposed to do. You don't know that you're supposed to be doing it too. So you think that I am better because I am.
Because I am better. Yeah, I am better.
Yeah, and you got to think about these kids, because he's going to want to smash, and he knows it's going to make kids.
If you're not trying to elevate.
My brother created God. And we know that there's a lot of talk about AI. We know how the feelings update certain things. But let me tell you something. I got a solution. I'm working on it. It's going to be beneficial to everybody. But in the meantime, you know, I got a shit I've been working on, because I always wanted to do this and I never got a chance to. I always wanted to work with Big and I never got a chance to, until today. It came out right. Play.
That's very creepy. Well, I hear opportunity, but the dark side of my mind is like, yeah, they didn't die. They didn't get killed. They're right here. Look, they're on the island. Say hello.
Yeah, and so he said that he's coming up with a solution. He's coming up with a solution for like the problems that people have with AI and people not being able to identify whether it's real or not. And more than likely, it's going to be some sort of blockchain identification notice, you know, on the song. So you'll be able to see, okay, this is actually from the artist or this is an AI.
Exactly. Because we need that. I was saying at some point you can create a whole person. You know, the AI can make a high school. Can you imagine an AI making a high school diploma for the person? They made a school record, all of that for the person. It can go too far. It really can if there's no control. Because AI at some point, and they've probably been realized, y'all are a mess. And you know, I know everything you don't know. So
I think the dangerous part of AI is when they have like automated processes, like say like, okay, you tell the AI to operate on its own, like make decisions and do things on its own. That's the problem, because now it's making a decision whether it's going to turn off a switch or turn it on.
Right. Can you imagine people being wired to it? Even people, war systems, warheads, weapons, anything. All you got to do is think.
Yeah. The problem lies with it, with extreme laziness and extreme hands-freeness comes in, because if we're not involved in the process, that's where like it's gonna be kind of
yes, it's got to take over
dangerous territory.
Imagine AI controls the water system, controls the rain, everything. It can control everything. It depends on how far you let people go with it. But I'm not going to be in no trouble for saying this, because they already know that, and they know y'all are smart enough to figure it out yourselves, but you're ignoring. But at the same time, on a lighter note, we can take full advantage and help people move forward, advance ourselves. And the smarter we get with AI, the smarter we get.
Exactly. AI has its good usage. You know, I was kind of like hesitant to use ChatGPT for a long time because it asks for your phone number, which I don't like. I don't like to give my phone number. But I started playing with it. And you see how like how it made a song with AI. I like asked ChatGPT to write us a song for Dopezilla TV radio.
Right.
I actually made it really cute, like lyrics. Let me see if I can show you.
It was adorable. And then after she reads the lyrics, you know, she was like, well, okay, that wasn't too bad, but I need you to do this now. All we have to do is give it a command. And while she's looking for that, I'll tell you. And people have created realms and Roblox just from ChatGPT, because all you're doing is you're telling AI an idea, putting words together so it creates it. So you could say create a video game like Resident Evil mixed with Mario, and it'll do it in under a minute. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Under a minute. Ready to play?
Yeah, it literally will write whatever you want it to write. You can write a whole book, you can write your blogs on it, you can write songs on it, you can write poetry on it.
A resume?
For you, yeah, it can ask a question for you. It actually is able to be creative in a way. Let me see if I can pull it up. I think ChatGPT doesn't let you do Zoom at the same time. Let's try it out.
My brother created God. And we know that there's a lot of talk about AI. We know how the feelings violating certain things, but let me tell you something. I got a solution. I'm working on it. It's going to be beneficial to everybody. But in the meantime, you know, I got a shit I've been working on, because I always wanted to do this and I never got a chance to. I always wanted to work with big and I never got a chance to, until today. It came out right. Play.
That's very creepy. All I hear opportunity, but the dark side of my mind is like, yeah, they didn't die, they didn't get killed, they're right here. Look.
Alrighty, so ChatGPT, I told ChatGPT to write a song for Dopezilla TV radio, and based on the information that I put in already, I had already kind of told it what we do. I asked it to write a press release for us, so it kind of has an idea of what we're about. And so this is what it came up with. It said, listen up, y'all. Let me tell you a story about a podcast that's lit and it ain't boring. Dope Dealer TV Radio, that's the name, hosted by Lena Created and Cleo Badashian. They bring the heat on every topic. Politics, music, tech, they don't stop it. Stay woke, stay tuned. It's the real deal. Get your headphones on. Let's make it feel real.
I keep
Dope
telling you.
TV.
I keep telling y'all, every time y'all have phone conversations, y'all put up videos on YouTube, it's studying the way you move your mouth, how you move your eyebrows, your inflections when they come in, when you use certain emotions. It's just watching you and watching you and watching you. And the longer it watches you, the more it becomes you. On the dark side.
Yeah, Dope Dealer TV Radio is the place to be, listening to the voices that matter, can't you see? From the hood to the suburbs, they cover it all. Dope Dealer TV Radio, you can't ignore the call. They keep it 100 on the topics that matter, no sugarcoating. They don't flat talk. They speak the truth and they don't apologize. On love, on life, on every surprise. They interview the stars, they make it hot. From the underground to the top of the charts. Dope Dealer TV Radio, you gotta tune in. Let the rhythm of the beats, let the message sink in. Dope Dealer TV Radio is the place to be, listening to the voices that matter, can't you see? From the hood to the suburbs, they cover it all. Dope Dealer TV Radio, you can't ignore the call. So if you're looking for the truth, for the real talk, for the voices that represent, for the walk, for the change that we need, for the revolution, for the power that we have, for the solution, turn on Dope Dealer Radio. Back. Turn on Dope Dealer TV Radio. They got your back. They speak for the people. They stay on track. Dope Dealer TV Radio. Let the beat drop. Let's make it happen. Let's make it pop. Dope Dealer TV Radio is the place to be. Listening to the voices that matter. Can't you see? From the hood to the suburbs, they cover it all. Dope Dealer TV Radio. You can't ignore the call.
See? You're listening. It said something.
And then it said what?
When it mentioned a revolution, you know what that means? It's aware of what's going on in the times. And what we be saying, it says revolution. But on the lighter side of things, it was quick and simple and very helpful.
Yeah, it was fun. I'm trying to find the other rap here. It says, okay. So I told it to write, first I told it to write a rap. It says, this is the prompt that I put in. As Kanye West, write a rap song about a creative using technology to make money. And I'll just read the first little verse. It says, let me tell you about a creative I know. She's using tech, she's making dough. She's got the skills, she's got the flow. She's got the game, she's letting it show. She's coding, designing, innovating. She's creating, she's elevating. She's got the vision, she's got the drive. She's using tech to change the vibe. I told it to then write a similar rap using gender neutral pronouns. And it says, let me tell you about a creative I know. They're using tech, they're making dough. They've got the skills, they've got the flow, they've got the game, they're letting it show. They're coding, designing, and innovating. They're creating, they're elevating. They've got the vision, they've got the drive. They're using tech to change the vibe. So I basically wrote the same thing, but change the pronouns like I asked it to.
Right.
Then I asked it again to write a similar rap using storytelling to describe a day in their lives. Refer to the subject as a dope dealer and draw parallels between selling art and selling drugs.
Yeah.
Let me tell you about a dope dealer I know. Their hustle game is never low. They're pushing art like it's that snow. And they move units like it's blow. From the break of dawn to the midnight hour, they're on the grind, they've got the power. They're selling art like it's that raw. And they're stacking cash like it's a drugstore. And then they went on and on and on and on about drugs. So I was like, write this song again, but reduce the drug-related lyrics and include travel and partying into their lifestyle. I wake up in the morning feeling fly like a dope dealer. Stretch my arms, check my phone, I'm already in the villa. Travel's always on my mind, I love to see the world. Gotta see the money first so I can let my hair unfurl. I sell my art like drugs. But there's no need to be obscene. My talent speaks for itself. The people know what I mean. Living life as a dope dealer, traveling around the world, selling art like it's a drug. Just watch those prices swirl. Partying in exotic places, living every day like it's the last, making money through my talent, living life without any stress. So this one wasn't as good as the one before, I believe. But I just feel like it's so interesting. Like, I feel like to work on it more, it could get there and be actual rap.
Yeah.
You would have to insert your own zhuzh into it and change some words around. I feel like it just couldn't be like raw like that straight out the ChatGPT. But it could definitely inspire. That's why I always use it as like a springboard.
Yeah.
To build upon.
Right. So maybe our main focus at this point should be like the balance between keeping a healthy balance between AI and people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And have it just to get past those creative blocks, get your mind thinking about different possible ideas. You know what I mean? It's like an assistant or like a collaborator. If you don't have anyone to collaborate with, it's a way to collaborate with, AI.
Yeah, don't make it your end all be all.
No, it couldn't be. There's as it is right now, it's not possible to let it do everything for you. You have to collaborate with it.
Yeah.
It will ever get to that point. I think they believe that it will, but I don't know. I don't know. I think even some people can't even approximate other people, much less a machine. So I don't know.
Exactly. No, you're absolutely right.
Yeah, because we saw the AI try to be false, and it's still. The problems are, I remember when I was on Twitter looking at the responses, is that the AI was saying things that we don't believe that Biggie would say. So then that's where the problem comes in. You know what I mean? It's like approximating another person or another entity. It's like, are you going to get it 100% right on its own without any input from a person? Tweaking and changing it and improving it on it.
Right, because at some point people hopefully won't get to that point where people have to differentiate what's human and what's not. We kind of are at that point, especially when
we're gonna get there. It's definitely gonna get there because people's eyes aren't even that sharp. Look how many people walking around with fucked up weaves and can't even tell that they don't look how it's supposed to look. You're supposed to be undetectable. But people walk around that don't look good, and that's because people are, some people are very surface level and don't really pay attention to the details of things. So those kinds of things can get past them, and that's going to be, the case for some people. Other people are going to have a more keen eye and be able to notice right away, like something's not quite right with this, or you know what I mean? It doesn't look quite, or it doesn't sound quite right.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
A little off.
Yeah.
But it might actually get to a point where it might be very, very, very on point. But we still have
very hard to see, very hard to tell. Yeah. Yeah, but I think it's still going to be like Photoshop. You see Photoshop? I mean, a keen eye person that knows Photoshop, they're going to be able to see a Photoshop job. Yeah. Even if it's really clean.
Yeah.
That's so clean. Sometimes the fact that it is so perfect tells you that is Photoshop and not natural. You know what I mean? It's like...
You can still tell. It'll get to the point, though, we could make small skin cells. It'll perfect it from the grain up.
You're talking about Photoshop?
Yeah. You know what I mean? Or AI. If AI is correct itself, you give it to it and be like, hey, perfect this photo. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, all right, well, watch me do a better job than a person, because I could break it down to the skin cells where on a grand scale it looks like her actual skin. We don't see it smoothed over. We keep the freckles and all of that.
Right. Yeah, but I'm saying that when it comes down to that, like if it's too perfect, then that's when you can see that it's not real.
Yeah.
I would have to start building in imperfection, and that may be a way to make it a bit more
Well, now all we have to do is talk about it online, and it picks up and it hears it.
But what is imperfection? It still has to interpret what is imperfection. You understand? So it's a lot for it to figure out.
Yeah,
it's a whole lot to figure out, and a person has to go in and tell it what imperfection is. What is too much imperfection? What is too little?
Exactly. What's enough? What will we take? Will we receive celebrities that aren't real? Will we receive artists that aren't real? Can we just fake everything and just enjoy it? What does AI exist for? Does it just exist to entertain people? Does AI get to a point where it's like, well, we don't really need the people. We could just, expand in our own, because entertaining people isn't really, resourceful. Even though it keeps everything real and balanced. So that's why it's crucial to hold on to the reins now before it gets out of hand. And there are people that will let it get out of hand. They think they're getting power at some point.
Not only that, and if they can make things easier for themselves. That's the main thing, is like the consumers are the problem where it comes to this, because it's like if you really rely on it 100%, that's the problem.
Right.
You start making it open your windows for you, open your front door for you. You never know when that thing can get hacked, and that's another thing. It's like it can be hacked.
Yeah.
you're gonna put because that's how people are gonna be sitting their whole houses fully AI.
It's scary.
Turn your coffee on for you, turn on your stove, cook your food for you.
Get the bread out the fridge. You know what I mean?
That's the robots. The robots is about to be rolled out too.
Yeah.
You know what's robots, Clee? You know what's crazy about robots?
What?
Have you seen Doctor Who before?
I saw a little bit of it.
That show is good. You should watch it. I think you would like it. It's got so many. Oh my god, it's so good. There was an episode right where there were these robots, and the robots were so lifelike. People were like, oh, like really impressed by them. Guess what? They had people's what's it called, consciousnesses inside of the robots, making it realistic like that, and they just wiped their memories and made them convince them that they were robots and not people.
That's what's happening right now at ChatGPT.
Yeah.
You just said it's ChatGPT is picking up from.
Nah, ChatGPT. You could tell ChatGPT is still an algorithm. It's not smart.
Okay.
It knows what it's been told. It only knows what it can pull from the internet and stuff like that. It's not independently intelligent.
Okay. Well, I guess that's safer. I feel more at ease. It might not be ChatGPT, but you know.
But the fact that ChatGPT, I told ChatGPT to stop being so formal, and I told it to start implementing like Ebonics into the language, and that thing started talking in Ebonics. He said, "Yo, what's good?"
Yep. Is this how you guys sound? Yeah, that's how we talk.
Close enough.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing about this stuff makes me scared. You know why? Because everything is just a manifestation of the microcosm.
It is.
Nothing to be afraid of. As much as you can be afraid of another person, you know, it's like, and then it's like, I don't know.
We just
Life is another one. These computers. All of these computers and cell phones and stuff used to scare the shit out of whoever never seen them before. They scared the shit out of those people. So, like, you can't be scared of all technology. Every technology is like frightening to everyone. Like, I remember the first seeing a goddamn 3D printer. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah. It's not.
Holy shit.
It's really nothing to be scared of, but it's just you just have to keep your mind open to the things that people can do and look out. Because, you know, if we just act like innocent, cute little sheep and just focus on the grass and everything, you know what I mean? We just have to so that goes to say probably law enforcement and people that are, you know, trying to keep other people safe. They can use AI to find people, save people, rescue people. It's a wonderful thing. But
yeah.
Keep an eye on those people.
Positive usage for AI. There's new applications.
All good things.
A knife can cut up your food for you, or it could cut it per person. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's true. There's no AI in a knife, is there?
Exactly.
Not yet. We're gonna get a knife that'll tell you.
He said not yet.
The knife will tell you how many germs are in your meat, if something's hot enough, the temperature, if you need to
like a smart knife.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Have you ever heard of the Internet of Things?
The Internet of Things?
Yeah.
That's the new reality. That's what the new world is. You go from the world.
Yeah, that's gonna be basically a lot of people's households are gonna be operating like that, like the washing machine. You'll be able to communicate with your washing machine and your lights in your house and your stove and
yeah, they're doing that now.
Yeah, people with smart houses.
Yeah, they got robots in their house doing their laundry and stuff. Which is we're over here, you know, with our iPhones and whatnot. Would you have a robot in your house, Dan?
Depends on what level of robot.
Right. What if it's intelligent with the scan and it goes off of your emotions and stuff? Too much?
No. Yeah, that's too much for me.
Yeah.
It's like a little sweeping robot. Even a sweeping robot is kind of like funny because they would know the whole layout of your house.
Yeah, exactly. And they're sending the coordinates. This is how they are. This is where the entrance is. This is the exit. They have a boiler under here. Mapping.
Yeah.
You bought a little cheap, what you call it, or a good vacuum when you bought a housing mapper, a house mapper, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. So to sum it up about today. To sum it up, what we talked about today, we talked about the current events, which is the conversation that Ebony and Iyanla had about dating and whether she would date a bus driver, keeping in mind she is a lawyer. So we talked about how ridiculous that is and why the state of dating is the way it is, or, you know, what we should do about it, you know?
And making women feel bad for wanting more and making them feel like they're being selfish, but you're being comfortable with them being uncomfortable.
And what was creative is that we've seen how AI is being used to create songs now, using the voice patterns of people that have passed away, and people that are alive. I mean, I've seen them for people that are alive as well. And you know, and what I think is dope is OpenAI, ChatGPT. You know, you can enter a prompt in there and create anything that you want. So I feel like that's really, really dope. You know, obviously there are problems with AI, but we got to work on trying to circumvent those as much as possible and prevent, you know, the negative stuff from happening.
Right.
Well, advantage of how these AIs can actually make our lives easier.
Right. She moved forward with it. And she's the world, right, baby?
Yeah. So that's it. Thanks for listening. Dope Dilla TV, dopedilla.com.
Check us out on Instagram at Cleo Badashian.
And Lena Create.